The next time you're out shopping, just take a look around. You're basically watching a real-time experiment of why some people get ahead with money and others just don't. And here's the kicker. It has almost nothing to do with how big their paycheck is. Nope, it's all about the tiny, nearly invisible choices they're making day in and day out.
Let's just focus on one single number, $400. I mean, it's not a huge amount of money, right? It's less than a lot of car payments. But for millions of working adults, that simple number, it's the razor's edge between just getting by and complete financial catastrophe.
So I want you to ask yourself, honestly, right now, if your car broke down tomorrow or you had a surprise medical bill for $400, could you handle it without whipping out a credit card or having to sell something? For a really shocking number of people, the answer is a hard no.
And the research on this is it's staggering. 1 out of every 3 Americans can't cover that expense. And let's be clear, this isn't just a low-income problem. This financial fragility stretches across all kinds of jobs and education levels. It points to a much, much deeper issue. And that really gets to the heart of the matter. This isn't about your salary, it's about your daily patterns, your habits. The things that quietly decide whether you're going to have financial peace of mind or spend your whole life stressed about money. The real problems, well, they're hiding in plain sight.
So that brings us to our first big idea, mindset and the map. We're going to dig into the psychology that keeps people stuck and how the way we think literally determines our financial destination.
Think about it like a road trip. Would you just hop in the car with no map, no GPS, and just start driving randomly? Of course not. That's insane. But that is exactly how most people handle their money. They're financially adrift. But someone who's financially focused, they have a clear destination, a planned route. Every single spending choice they make gets filtered through that goal. Does this get me closer to where I want to go, or does it take me further away?
And this right here is a massive mindset trap. I get it. Living in the moment sounds great. But the problem is when people take it to such an extreme that they make choices today as if their future self is some other person, a stranger who's just going to magically have it all figured out.
This leads to one of the biggest, craziest ironies in all of finance. It's often the people who are struggling the most who are spending the most to look rich. They're trapped in this performance, leasing the fancy car, buying the expensive watch, all to project an image. They just don't see that every single dollar they spend on that facade is a dollar that's been stolen from their chance to build actual wealth.
Okay, so if the mindset is the why, let's get into the how. This brings us to the daily money drain. We're about to uncover those sneaky, everyday habits that are silently emptying our bank accounts.
I mean, can you imagine a company trying to be successful without a budget? Without tracking what's coming in and what's going out? It would be total chaos, right? And yet that's how most of us run our own lives. We have this vague idea of our finances, but no real, precise awareness.
And living in that kind of financial fog leads to that feeling we all know way too well. You get paid, you spend what feels like a normal amount, and then poof, you're staring at your bank balance wondering, where did it all go? That feeling is the direct result of not having a plan.
This is where those tiny leaks turn into a massive flood. That $5 coffee you grab every morning, over a year, that's $1,800, gone. That $15 lunch you buy at work, we're talking over $5,000 a year. These things feel so small in the moment, but they are eating up hundreds of dollars every single month. Money that could be building your future instead of just vanishing.
All right, so how do we fix all this? Let's talk about building your financial foundation. This is the actual blueprint for turning things around, for building real, lasting security.
Okay, here's a key mindset shift for you. So-called unexpected expenses are actually completely predictable. We know the car will need repairs eventually. We know the dishwasher will break. An emergency fund is your #1 line of defense. It's the tool that breaks that horrible cycle of having to go into debt every single time life happens.
Next up, we have got to get smart about debt. Because you see, not all debt is the same. There's productive debt. That's when you borrow to buy an asset that's going to grow in value, like a mortgage on a rental house. But then there's destructive debt. That's borrowing for stuff that loses value the second you buy it. Think credit card debt for a vacation or financing a new TV. It is an absolute wealth killer.
Now this is a powerful, powerful shift in thinking. Most people pay everyone else first. Their landlord, the grocery store, the credit card company, and then they try to save what's left over, which is usually nothing. Wealthy people do the exact opposite. They pay themselves first. The second their paycheck hits their account, an automatic transfer sends money to their savings and investments.
Then they just live on whatever is left. This guarantees that your future is always the top priority.
And hey, remember, building wealth isn't just about scrimping and saving. It really stands on 3 pillars. You have to take calculated risks by investing your money, not just letting it rot in a savings account. You need to work on building multiple streams of income, so you're not just relying on your 9 to 5. And you have to commit to always learning about money, because the rules of the game are always changing.
So that's the blueprint. But a blueprint is useless if you don't actually start building. So our last section is all about action, your first steps to wealth, taking you from broke to secure. Now, the most important thing to get here is that you do not need to blow up your entire life to do this. This isn't about misery and deprivation. It's about making small, consistent changes that add up over time to create results that are just absolutely remarkable.
So here it is, your immediate action plan. First, define a specific goal with a deadline. Not just save money, but save $1,000 in the next 6 months. Second, start that emergency fund. I don't care if it's with just $50. Just start. Third, for 1 month, track every single dollar you spend. The awareness you'll gain is transformative, I promise. And fourth, automate your savings. Set up that automatic transfer, even if it's small. The habit is what matters most at the beginning.
Look, the big takeaway is this. Financial freedom is not about luck. It's not about being born into the right family or having some 6-figure job. It is a system. It's about consciously seeing the habits that are holding you back and systematically replacing them with habits that build you up, one choice at a time.
The road from being broke to being financially secure, it isn't some big secret. It's not complicated. It's built on the thousands of tiny decisions you make, starting right now. So the only question left is, what's your next decision going to be?